Hello everyone and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks and Crypto TA Livestream. It is Saturday, May 13th, 2023. It's just after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome everyone to this live stream where I analyze and show charts regarding stocks, indexes, cryptocurrencies, and user requests as well. We're streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have a Twitter group if you'd like to join. This upcoming week is going to be an interesting week. So for stocks, it's retail earnings week. It's all about the retail stores. So for the USA stock market, we have companies such as Home Depot, Target, TJ Maxx, big one, Walmart. We have from China, Alibaba as well. We have additional companies. Let's put Cisco in there as well. But a big retail week. Moving on, we have economic data releases. Again, it's retail sales and core retail sales data. We have some unemployment claims, manufacturing index, existing home sales. We have a Fed Chair Powell speech. The FOMC chairman speech is on Friday, this upcoming Friday. And we have FOMC member speeches throughout. But I do want to just point out just a little bit of extended news on stocks and crypto. We'll do the stocks first. So earnings season for USA stock market is continuing. We have retail week. The big concern right now is the debt ceiling limit decision that has a June 1st deadline that's causing volatility and lower consumer sentiment across the board. Previously, we had the USA regional bank fallout and the volatility continuing from the stock market. In terms of a couple company news, there's a new Twitter CEO that's supposed to start in about 6 weeks from now. Tesla recalled 1.1 million cars in China due to accelerating and braking safety problems and China safety regulations. GM is set to recall 1 million SUV cars in USA due to airbag problems, safety concerns again. Now in crypto, I haven't talked about crypto news for a while, so I just want to point this out to people. There's a lot of news. So Binance Exchange, the big Binance Exchange, withdrew from Canada. So they're leaving Canada due to new crypto regulations. Backed mass delisted about 24 altcoins from its platform recently. Now, behind the scenes and in some news, you might be hearing that New York lawmakers and the Attorney General, they're basically trying to seek to set regulatory precedent and laws within New York regarding cryptocurrency businesses and exchanges. So why is that important? Is because New York is a financial, hub around the world. And what they do in New York could set the regulation precedent for the rest of the nation in USA and possibly even affecting other parts of the world. Bittrex Exchange filed for bankruptcy after their SEC lawsuit. The Coinbase newsletter caused issues with the Pepe Coin and meme coin community the past couple weeks. It's interesting that crypto exchange Binance, the trading volume fell negative 48% last month. So there's negative 48% less trading, and that's the second lowest level since 2021. Source CoinDesk. Also, Robinhood's crypto revenue is down negative 30% year over year in Q1 2023, the last 3 to 4 months. Source CoinDesk. And a couple months ago, in February, Kraken had to shut down its staking business after settling with the SEC. So what does this all mean? It means the US SEC and the CFTC Trading Commission are basically going against crypto exchanges in an attempt to... It's interesting because Coinbase has said, what are the regulations? Like, what are the regulations? Make it more clear. And it's going to take some time for that to play out. For now, though, corporations, they're going to have to comply, or it's either comply or leave, comply or shut down, right? So it's kind of like pretty a cutthroat scenario, but we'll see what happens. With all that in mind, let's go now to stocks, and we'll go to crypto as well. If you have a request, just let me know in the chat. One moment, please. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Let's start with stocks, S&P 500. I do want to point out quickly that we are nearing a resistance zone. Nearing a resistance zone right now. So relative resistance, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this level approximately 417 to 418. This blue horizontal bar. It was our gap resistance highlighted in the yellow. So if it almost looks like a little bit of a dirty head and shoulders, triple top, quadruple top, bar pattern, whatever you want to call it. But we could get this pullback if we measure this structure right now. About 3% to the downside would take us to my pink blue target, 395, this little X down here. Something to watch out for. So I'm seeing this pattern in stocks and crypto as well, is we see it in an uptrend, but it's reaching resistance. We're hitting a temporary ceiling right now in the price. And if the news keeps getting bad, meaning there's no good news for 3 to 6 months, I'm anticipating resistance pullback. I'm anticipating it. One could also argue it depends on how bullish somebody is in their mind, right? It's not going to go bullish until we have a breakout. So until we have a breakout above 418, it's not happening yet. We are still in an uptrend for 6 months. That's good. But again, the consumer sentiment and the news was better back here, meaning interest rates, inflation starting to peak and going to come down now. Now we have debt ceiling problems, stuff that we're not seeing on the chart. The information and news that's not on this chart. Just want to point that out to people. Emphasize that. It's not only about the price chart. It's about the real world. Government, companies, people, the economy, stocks, money flow, supply, demand, all of that. Now on the weekly, on the S&P, we do have these two hanging man candles up here with the doji on this right side. A little bit of an issue, right? If it's not quite an inside bar, it's not piercing either. On the close, it is piercing, but we're seeing it starting to come down. Okay, so until we get the big gap down, most people are probably not going to call that coming down. Let's move on. Let's go to QQQ. Tech stocks have been a little bit overextended. We can see high, low, high. We didn't really have a higher low on 305, and it's going higher, high, but it's stuck at this resistance. This is the big resistance mountain on the left side that we're seeing here. We do have this gap right up until 320. We pierced out of that, but we're still stuck at this resistance level, which is about 332. And I highlighted this several weeks in a row that we're going to hit this resistance area. The pullback in this blue horizontal line, 315 to 310, if we do pull back to the downside. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. If this starts to pull down to the downside, you want to watch out for that. So, just for an example, I'm short certain tech stocks right now, just to get a little bit of this pullback. One moment, please. There's something with the sound. I am starting to short some stocks just to get a little bit of this pullback. It's going to be very short-lived time duration-wise, just to see how far the pullback goes down. So we'll just watch that right now. Now on the weekly, we do have not quite a shooting star, but it's getting there. And you can see the bearish momentum is starting to form on the weekly. We're starting to lose a little bit of that MACD histogram. On the daily, why I'm not going super short is, well, technically the MACD is still open up cross, and we have a formation here that could point out it wants to have continuation, but we have seen that before where we expand higher, have small little pullbacks. So I'm only trying to short like a small pullback. This doesn't mean we can't go higher on tech stocks. It really depends on the news. Now, moving on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones, DIA, the industrials, it's going sideways. Okay, Dow Jones Industrial ETF, going sideways right now. You could really see on the Dow Jones the split perspective, meaning bullish versus bearish. It really depends. Somebody could say, oh, bullish, upside down, head and shoulders, but it's not really, that's not really a good setup, because upside down, head and shoulders should happen after a downtrend. Okay, getting back to textbook technical analysis. So this hit is hitting a resistance point. I'm seeing more resistance than I'm seeing support on the bottom side. Does that make sense? I'm seeing more ceiling up here. There's only 2 or 3 spots down here. So it's a stronger resistance level right now in the market with the debt ceiling problem, et cetera, et cetera. So we are trying to pull back on this price, the Dow Jones. So 330, the target's not that much further down. So are we gonna have a full RSI crash? Maybe. I mean, the MACD is down cross here, and you can see here we're starting to lose momentum on the weekly, which is why I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, we just want to watch out for that. The numbers are, the resistance is 342 at the top X. The support level, the intermediate support is 327, and the big support 315 down here. So I'll leave those marks for next time. Quickly, just take a glance at gold. Gold, if you are in my following on TradingView or Twitter, my idea, let's go to silver first. I did release this one day before this crash. So we all made, whoever followed this educational, I personally shorted silver on an inverse ETF and made my 5% target. So we're going to see if this goes down to 10% over time, but it might not, because right now it kind of looks like this area, the price action, I got the gap down, it's easy, it's good. But at the same time, you could see at the $20 level, we had some dojis that went, doji sideways. So if that happens again, that's why I'm not really giving up on this support play. Yeah, the short for silver, because it's pretty overextended. The only problem is it's on the shorter term time frames, like an hourly or a 4-hour, it's kind of low RSI, purple. So the oversold traders, the algos are going to try to push this back up. So there's a little room to wiggle here, plus or minus volatility, yeah, maybe like 3%. But I'm going to try to hold on to this one a little bit longer, just to see if it can pull back even more, because this whole silver downtrend took 34 days. So that's why it's only like the 3rd day after that. We'll see what happens. And again, in terms of daily, anything's possible, but I'm not seeing a huge MACD histogram that would happen after a downtrend. Maybe the super support level down here at 20, etc. But I just want to point that out to people. I did call that correctly. GLD, I was going to write this one as well on the short, but it was so similar to silver. You know, if you know your technical analysis, I did highlight this blue bar up here for many, many weeks. High, low, high. There's a resistance level calling out this resistance at about like 190 area, 191. And we're starting to lose momentum on that MACD histogram as well as the RSI. So in terms of my downside target, the immediate support level is about like 183. Somewhere down here, we get the pullback. We didn't get a gap down on gold, which is why I didn't see as much momentum pulling down on gold, which is why I didn't publish that idea on TradingView. Next, US oil. US oil, lots of volatility here. If somebody is an oil trader, a futures trader, lots of volatility here. Now we're stuck in this range. We are not uptrending anymore like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's not doing that anymore. We're actually downtrending ever so slightly. So it looks like the bears are just playing this like music, like an orchestra, like a violin player. Whenever it gets to resistance, short, short, short. Whenever it gets to support, long, 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 until the one time it's gonna break down or break out of here. So in terms of the resistance, we have resistance at 68. We have a support level at 62%. And if this continues to downside, the downside target's around $56, 55 on this ETF. The resistance, like 66 right now. Okay, next, UNG. UNG is getting interesting. I'm starting to see actual news articles about people getting suspicious about UNG, natural gas, that we're starting to see. There is bullish momentum over time. We're starting to see this round out here, possible. It's not quite a double bottom, but we're starting to see that rounding bottom action that could indicate that we might be seeing maybe 20% whenever that happens. Taking us to the second blue target. I'll erase some of this. Looking like that. So I'm always keeping my eye on UNG to see where exactly this is going to go. The downside, maybe 10% to the downside because UNG is pretty volatile, and the 20% target would be that blue line just around there, 2-to-1 play. And we'll see what happens with this. The actual supply demand, excuse the noise, the supply demand dynamic. The weekly, this thing looking like it wants to blow to the upside. I mean, it's a lot of bullish momentum here, which is why any day now, any week now, we should get that gap up, and it's probably going to be started. The catalyst will probably be some kind of news production or some kind of supply demand dynamic, or it could just be a short squeeze. All right, we'll go a couple more minutes on stocks. Just take a quick glance at some of these ETFs, like XLF, the financial ETF, is trying to hold onto this lower support level, 32, back here. As long as we can hold this higher low, I know this is a pretty messy chart, but in terms of the higher low right here above 31.50, this area, as long as we don't crash below that support, we're okay, actually okay here. This actually looking a little bit like DXY, the dollar currency index, but if we can hold the support above 31.50, try to get a higher high here, which could be about the 33 level, or we're going to dump down to about 30.50. So we'll see what happens there. Take a quick glance at energy. XLE, you could see XLE really rounded and then got shorted down to the downside to the support level. It's starting to angle down. I mean, it's very similar to oil as well. So the downside target, the 236 Fibonacci, could be about $75. If it happens to bounce up, we see this resistance at 85. But it is angling down. I do want to point that out to people. It's okay. The tech sector, looking similar to most tech stocks, is that high, low, high, low, high, right? We're hitting that resistance. And we talked about that earlier. That's why my target is down here at about 144. Take a quick glance at real estate ETF, still in the downtrend, tightening up in that symmetrical triangle. You could see quite a bit of resistance below the $38 range, quite a bit of resistance under there. So if it doesn't break out, which we would all like it to, the bulls, but if it comes down, $35 is my target on the downside. Now, let's take a quick look at some of the major top stocks, just a visual. I'll just call it out. Apple definitely hitting its resistance zone. You can see how high it is here, right? This is why XLK and the tech stocks is so high in the uptrend. We're hitting this resistance range of 176 to 180. You see this blue line? And unless we break out, it's probably not going to go higher in the short term because of all this bearish news and problems that we're having right now in the USA. So what I'm watching out for is, where's the flip to the downtrend? Where is it? It hasn't happened yet, but if it happens, I'm waiting for this trend line to crack and then the price to come to the downside, and that's when we'll know we're going to have some shorts pull back. Now, that doesn't mean the uptrend for the long term, you know, if you're an investor, it doesn't mean it's over, but we are at a critical resistance level right now. We do have a doji printed on the weekly. It's not quite a shooting star like the 3 times we had in the past 1 year, but once we have that shooting star, I can anticipate some shorts. Now, let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft gapped up after good earnings. Now we're above the breakout spot here. See if it can sustain above in this price area, in the 305 area. And if it doesn't, it could come down to even 292 level, 295, the gap resistance here, and still be okay in the uptrend. If we have a crazy gap down, I mean, the downside target is way down here, 275 where we started, 292, and the breakout has to break out above 313. Let's go to Google. I mean, they're trying to push Bard AI a little bit harder, and you know, Microsoft, you know, Chat GPT is doing pretty well for an AI. It's working pretty well. But if we go to Google, Bard AI, and some of what's going on with their advertising, kind of gapping up here, but again, gapping up into where? Into a resistance level. Google's still relatively low. It's not an Apple scenario where we're all the way here at all-time highs range. Just break out here. So a lot of tech is not looking like it's going to crash down, but we might get pullbacks off of the breakout because anybody who bought down here, some of the algorithms might be taking some of the profit just in case of what's going on with the market right now. Like I know I saw that article that Warren Buffett sold $13 billion worth of stock portfolio. So people kind of noticed that. People noticed that. It wasn't, I don't think he sold much tech stock. I have to double check what the portfolio was. But in terms of the pullback, we can pull back to 113, no problem. But the fact we broke out of here is interesting, and see if we could get continuation. You do have to kind of back test this level at 113 before you try to break out to the upside. Let's take a quick look at Tesla because of their news. So Tesla, I'll redraw this. So that recall news, I mean, really, it's not doing them a favor. This is kind of weakening. You could see it, right? Low, high. I shorted this part down, shorted this part, and then closed it, and then it rebounded, so that's good. Took my profit. That short trade is done. But if we look at the angle, is it going up like this? No, it's going down. It's still angling, so there's still a resistance here, and it's probably because of all the basically the drama that happened with Elon Musk and Twitter and Tesla itself. But hopefully they can focus more on Tesla, and just to see what's going to happen with this company. But you can see the triangle is angling down right now. We just hit that resistance level. So the deep downside target, if someone's trying to do options or something, or for education, way down here, 145, that's where our gap support level started. That's probably going to be a battle zone. And we also have a resistance just below 176 area, like this. And you could see boxing in the price. All right. So in terms of long-term investing, still looking down, right? Now, what can negate this idea is we have a weekly double top as well. I just want to point that out here, weekly double top. So if we measure that, it could be like approximately 20%. So 20% down would take us back down to 133. That would be very significant pullback. Now, are we going to crash down to 0? No. Can we crash down to 110? It's possible if we have enough big money shorting. Okay, we don't really want that to happen. This should have been a Morningstar reversal to the upside. That should have been bullish. Let me zoom in a little bit. This should have been bullish. There's a nice hammer candle with a Morningstar 3-candle formation, but a little bit of sell-off on the bad news. So in terms of immediate target, 190 or 150 are these big weekly targets. Anything, as long as the price stays above 125 area, this X zone, we'll spark this for next time. We don't want the stock to crash that low. But it can maintain, it can pull back here and then recover later. So, if the debt ceiling limit, hopefully that gets resolved, things get better. Hello, thank you. Hello, thank you for following, commenting. If you like me to do a request, just let me know in the chats right now, in the live chats. I'm probably going to go maybe 1 hour maximum today. Okay, let's just take a quick look at what am I missing here? Let's take a quick look at Coinbase because of what happened with Coinbase and all the drama, basically. All the drama here. The drama's not bad enough to crash, right? It's not like company financials or anything like that. So, or like fraud or something crazy bad. But what I do want to point out here is in the very, very long term, there is this potential upside down head and shoulders here on Coinbase. It is there. But how long is it going to take to really come to fruition? It could take 1 year or 6 months to 1 year for that really to reverse. So in the long term, this is looking interesting, but you can see it's still stuck between that. It hasn't broken out yet. So once it breaks out this 0.88 retrace, which is $80, if it ever breaks out above that to the bull side, to the bullish breakout, the long-term target, it could go 128% to the upside. That's only in like a super bullish scenario back to our 618. I'm just keeping an eye on this one, just in case something really good happens. But on the flip side, if something really bad happens with Coinbase, okay, it can crash back down to $30 or less because it's in a channel consolidation right now. And somebody could say, wait, the more recent resistance is right here. So, okay, somebody could say that. Let's watch out for that. But I do want to point that out. Also on Robinhood related, Robinhood was, I made a good decision by not longing that because just on experience, it had good news about the something about 24/7 trading on Robinhood, but the overall market conditions and the pullback on the Nasdaq, I said no, I'm gonna wait on this one. So that's a good call. That's good stock trading discipline right there. Just want to give people that example. That even though the news was good and bullish and was so hyped up, and you can see it here on the side, right? You can see it here on the side news when you open this. Oh, they got a downgrade. That's also why. So, just being cautious of that from experience. I know I saw the symmetrical triangle down here. I want it to go up. Of course I do. As a bull, of course I do. But it's right at it gapped up into that resistance zone on a doji. And I said, symmetrical triangle, a conservative measurement, 40 plus or 40 minus percent. 40 minus percent, negative 40 would take us down to 570 something, 575 down here. I would like to buy it down here if I have patience. Or these supports I was looking at in one night, 830, 750, 675, 550, $5. If it ever gets down there, if this breaks down, I mean, we could short it or just try to wait for a long way down here to get some value. Because at the start of the stream, remember, the trading volume's down like negative 33% or 38%. So there's going to come a time where if Robinhood survives that and the market recovers, traders and speculators, they should come back later when the market recovers. So this is like a value play for way later in the future that I'm showing right now. Let's see if we got any no comments yet for requests. All right, so I think we can just kind of move on to crypto. I don't see any stock requests right now, so let's just go straight to crypto. If you have requests, just feel free to type it. Okay. So now we are in cryptocurrency segment. Do want to point out, thank you for watching and following. I am live streaming right now on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have a Twitter group. And so at the start of the stream, the first 5 or 6 minutes, we talked a lot about crypto exchanges and crypto news. Basically, the SEC, the CFTC, the US government, the regulators against all the crypto exchanges right now. So what happened in the market? Again, if you're following me, I did write about this head and shoulders. I saw it before it happened, but I didn't want to scare people about this, right? Because I wanted to see, let's see if that actually pulls back down. Because sometimes, like we saw with the jobs data, if you're on my Twitter, is you have a head and shoulders, right? Sometimes it breaks down to the downside like we just had. Sometimes it doesn't. So I just want a little bit more confirmation before I make the call on that one. Now, what am I talking about? I want to explain my idea. I might have to... I'll show it on Bitcoin as well. Total, what am I talking about here? If you zoom out, by definition on the day chart, are we uptrending? Are we going sideways? Are we downtrending? Where are we going right now? In the long term, from December 2022 till now, we are still in a short-term uptrend. We're in a short-term uptrend. Is it parabolic uptrend? No. It's just kind of higher highs and higher lows. So it kind of reminds me maybe of this December to October, November 2021 area where we could get a pullback or this could be some relative top. So if we look at it in two ways, if I look at it as bullish, as all the bad events right now are just transient, it's going to pass, then this should hold some higher low down here is what I'm saying, above this 900 billion or this is 20,000 Bitcoin range on the same chart, similar chart, is it needs to hold this higher low and not go down. And then we can establish another higher high. That happens in crypto many times. But the opposite idea is If this is a dead cat bounce and this is fake, if this rally is fake and we're about to crash in the next 6 months, then it should be a sustained downtrend. There should be a pivot point, a reversal point, a rounding reversal. Has it happened yet as of this second on the daily chart? No, it hasn't happened yet. We just had some shorting and some selling off. People are running away. People are selling. People don't want this volatility. They don't want the uncertainty. They're just done with the market. They're just done. Casual traders, casual speculators, the trading volume's down negative 50%. I could feel that online. I've been feeling it since the crash. Right? So we have to just remember that. Remember that it's not over until the trend shows me that it's over on the chart. As an investor, if you are a day trader, you are probably seeing lots more volatility, like on a 5-minute or something like that, 15-minute, and you're saying, you know, you might be bullish on some kind of oversold pattern, depending on what time of day it is. But right now, on H4 on a daily, we're just trying to see this support right here, 1.05, 1.05, 1.04, 1.03, okay? Right here, higher low, higher low, higher low, if we could hold that. So we'll know the crypto market's in big trouble. I will know if it actually breaks down further over time. Negative 12%, negative 10 to 12% is down here. We have to lose the 1 trillion market cap on the total market cap. And that's our first target. If it's double the target and we have negative 24% down here, that could be 836 billion market cap. That would be a significant crash. And then that would be a downtrend reversal if that happens. So just looking out, I can forecast that like 3 to 6 months, these two targets and this potential downtrend. If this holds on the bullish side, then the obvious reversal resistance 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion right here on the top side. Okay, everybody? So it depends on your time frame. I'm looking at it from an investment swing trading perspective right now. We still have the golden cross. So as long as that's golden cross and we're testing these supports, it's kind of okay. It's kind of okay. Are there a lot of bad things happening in crypto exchanges and regulation? Yes, there are a lot of bad things happening this year. But the price, how long did this take to develop? 1 month. This uptrend, about 2 months, right? So it's going to take 1 to 3 months to get additional clarity of, are we going to keep going up on crypto for the whole market, or are we about to crash down? Hopefully that makes sense to people. Okay, Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitfinex. No, not Bitfinex. We use just Kraken because it's a blank chart for me. Now, Bitcoin is very similar. Let me start off on a monthly chart. Let's go way back. Let's go way back here. On a monthly, what am I seeing? This is not really good. The month is not over yet. There's about, I don't know, 2 weeks left. But if this prints as an evening star pattern on the monthly, that's kind of bad. That is bad. The last time we had that, we had a huge one here. So you'll know when it happens. Okay, so if we start dumping on all cryptos and that prints in June 1st, the debt ceiling default, you know, there's some bad stuff. I mean, you can see this thing has plenty of room down to crash on Bitcoin. Our big line in the sand, or two lines, are 23,000 and 17,000 downside. We have to break and hold above $30,000 Bitcoin. It has to happen this year to maintain the momentum. Okay, if we zoom out to a weekly chart investment, it's still hitting that higher low. Like we are just literally sitting above that support level on this yellow trend line down here. Does that make sense to people? It could pierce down. We had that one hammer candle that scared a lot of people at the beginning of March 2023. We get that again. Right? Hammer candle and bulls say, no, we're gonna try to save that. Right? So we'll try to see that happening. Does that make sense to people? On a daily, we have a daily up cross. That's not 100% that we're going to go up, but it is an indication that, you know, we're out of that deadly downtrend from 2021 till 2023, beginning of January. We do have the same similar head and shoulders pattern, but we're up cross right now. So what does that mean? It means that the market is half bullish, half bearish. Most recently bearish, however, because we have that formation that's happening right now. If I measure that head and shoulders price pattern, negative 12% to the downside. That's just below the 200 EMA, about 24,000. Okay, so that's why I'm saying from 2 streams ago, we have to hold above the $25,000 level and really not go down below that too much. We could go down, in my idea, saying we could go down 20,000, but we can't lose 20,000. Why? Because that's the higher low of March 2023. If we lose 20,000, we're going to have to not lose 16,000. If we lose both of those levels, we're in huge trouble in crypto market. It's going to be bear market part 2. Okay. Now, if it bounces and we hold this resistance, we hold this support level down here in the green circle, we are already seeing a little bit of a daily hammer candle there. Market's trying to survive. Watch this low high. Watch out for the lower high right here, and then possibly one more dump, fake out to 25,000. A lot of bulls, maybe the miners trying to defend this spot for their profits at 25,000. So this is normal. This is normal activity. Okay. This feels like, to me, May 2020. It feels like it. It doesn't look like it on the charts, but it kind of feels like it. Okay. I just rewinded back to the pandemic right now. This is our pandemic crash in blue. We had nice recovery. Okay. And then what happened? We had some pullbacks. We had a double top here. We had a rising wedge, but did it crash back down to 0 or the bottom? No. So that's why. If it does not crash back down to 0, so to speak, or 8,000 or 6,000, these relative lows back there, and this holds, and this goes sideways at least, or a little bit up, then we have a chance to maintain an uptrend. How long did that take from this golden cross to like the breakout? I would say it took 150 days. It took half a year, 6 months, basically. Okay. So the market's not going to go up a lot in one day. All right. So here, forecast that out 150 days. That's July. And that's August. That's September area, right? Past that. And that's when we're going to start to see a little bit of that Litecoin happening and the IMF paper, the IMF regulation paper could be bad for crypto because they're not going to like say, oh, people can do everything they want in crypto. No, they're going to tighten down on crypto. So it's probably going to be bad. We're going to have a good Litecoin happening, and then next month after that, September, we're gonna have a probably a bearish white paper. All right, so hopefully that makes a lot of sense for people, and understanding the framework that we are living inside of right now. Thank you for all these requests. I just am seeing them right now, so we'll probably have to maybe in about 5 or 10 minutes, I'll do the request. The live chats are pretty delayed, so that's why I would recommend if you have a request, like right when I start, just say hi and put the request in, or else it gets delayed by like 10 or 20 minutes. So just a heads up for next time, that would be appreciated for everyone's sake, so nobody has to wait too long as well. All right, let's do quickly just a quick couple of these. And again, I don't show every single volatile meme coin or altcoin on stream because most people can find that themselves on the internet pretty easily, right? If you want me to analyze it, feel free. Just let me know on the request right now. All right, Ethereum USD. We broke out of the sim triangle a long time ago, back here in the end of 2022. The sim triangle, that was good for there, right? 40%. We had the breakout. Did we hit that? We went 80%, 2 times the breakout. That is why people are starting to take their profit. Also, we're at a resistance level horizontal on Ethereum. Multiple resistance levels. So I could draw this one here, that resistance zone, I'm going to call it. And there's also this zone. So we're stuck between these horizontal levels going sideways right now. Another way to look at this, Fibonacci pandemic low to the pandemic high. And you'll see we are stuck literally in the 618 zone. There is a little bit of bearish momentum forming on the RSI with the price. That's why you want to be cautious with crypto. There's a double top here and there's bearish momentum on the daily that's building. The question is, how far is the pullback going to go down? That's the question right now. How far down are we going to pull back? So on Ethereum, it could pull back down to maybe like 1600 and still be kind of healthy and normal, meaning we could try to get this high, low, and try to go up to the upside. Okay. Now on the daily, we do have a little bit of the momentum trying to get the second MACD wave on the histogram, and it's still up cross. So hopefully this makes sense to people. As long as we hold these EMAs and we're not going to crash below them, it's actually still yellow light to me. It's not green light, because green light would mean we have like everything in our favor, all the fundamentals, all the government regulations and all this stuff in our favor and to go up. It's not in our favor right now. As a trader, as crypto trader investor, the government is not for crypto exchanges in America. Okay. They're trying to control it right now. And it's coming off of after FTX and Luna. So I understand it. It makes sense, but it's being tempered. This rally, I should say it like this. It's not really about us versus the government. It's really the price versus regulation is what it really is. Okay. The laws, supply and demand as well. Okay, so if we try to break out above this, we have to break and hold above 2100, and we need to not go below 1600 or else something really, really bad is going to happen on Ethereum. All right, Binance Coin, we had some news about Binance, right, withdrawing from Canada. So Canadian traders having a problem with Binance. But it's still on the uptrend. It's pretty high. It used to be, $26 back in the day. But this is still in a very short-term uptrend, almost an ascending triangle. Okay, so this is supposed to be a bullish formation. But it's not going to complete that until we break out completely above the 350 level. Does that make sense? High, low, high. Did it go higher, low? We have to hold above 295, break out, retest the 342 range, and then break to this next resistance. So we have multiple resistances. You can see on the blue, and we have multiple supports on the downside. This is supposed to be bullish. It's supposed to be. But with all the regulation problems and going on between Binance USA and Binance.com, we'll see what happens here. So to give additional clarity, like on all these altcoins and cryptos, if you see huge amounts, like one huge green candle to reverse us out of here, okay, that might be some good news. The opposite is also true. If you see a huge red candle, obviously a lot of selling. So then we're going to see if we're going to defend here or not. If we don't defend here, this thing could crash back down, negative 30%, all the way down to $200. And I actually might want to buy some more at $200. Okay. If it breaks out, might want to buy some of that for that continuation play up here. Okay. So I'm giving two scenarios just so people are prepared. The day traders can work within this framework. If you're a scalper, you could also work within this framework. You understand these larger targets and the numbers, and set yourself up and get prepared for the coming week. Okay. We have a, let's see, let's move to request for these last like 15 minutes or so. Probably going to do some of the crypto ones. Somebody asked me for DOT. Okay, let's do DOT. I'm using just a Kraken chart because it's blank for me. Now, same thing with DOT, as it's very similar to some of the, well, actually, I don't want to confuse people. So it's not the same thing, but it's pullback. Okay. Some of these other altcoins are more correlated with Bitcoin. DOT is not exactly correlated with Bitcoin. And it could be that related to the delisting on related to Backed exchange, Backed business platform. But it's still in the downtrend. Still in the downtrend. Okay? Still in the downtrend. This is not parabolic up right now. I have to make that 100% clear for anybody watching this. We are not here in the blue circle. We are not about to break out to new highs yet. Okay? It hasn't happened yet. What is happening though? We are still in a downtrend continuation, rejected from this double top high below $8 and below $7.50. That's the resistance right now. The angle is down. It did break out, but this could be interpreted, the most recent price action, as some kind of double top or some kind of lower high right here. Okay, so the momentum fading, the hype fading. No, maybe less company specific news. The delisting is not going to do it any favors either. So what you want to watch out for is lower lows if that ends up happening. Because where are the lower lows of this coin? Meaning support, long term, right where we just stopped, $5.06. If it goes below, lower to like a $4.24, it could happen as well. If you're a swing trader, you just want to wait for that oversold setup. It's not even oversold right now on this Saturday. Thank you for the follow. It's not even oversold yet, right? So we're playing, it already bounced up today in this morning, right? So that could be European traders or some algorithmic trading going on just off this oversold. Almost looks like it poked out of a Bollinger Band on like a 5-minute on the downside. Algo is going to catch that. Bot's going to catch that. Traders going to catch that. This could have been a little bit of Australia as well. Asia going into European session. That's what it looks like here. But we're still seeing that relative high that's being printed on the chart in that short term. So again, I would exercise for myself. I'm exercising a little bit of caution right now because we hit the low, high, lower, low. Now it's about how far is it going to go down. It could actually rebound from here. So let me give you two scenarios for a long term. Again, the long-term support is something bad happens in the crypto market or news, and we crash back down to $4. Then we could crash back down to 330. I might want to buy some more down here. There's a little bit of MACD histogram momentum that's forming right now. You can kind of see it. A little bit of tightening up on this MACD histogram and the signal lines, the orange blue lines, and we have a descending wedge pattern. So once this breaks out, you could see some traders maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday try to play this and get this little higher low rally going on. It's still in a death cross right now, but this is kind of a relative low spot for a short trade. Okay, even for an investment, it's kind of still relative low. So what I want to caution people about is, yes, it's down a lot, but low can always go lower. That's the saying on Wall Street. Negative 90%, it can still go down. It can still go down. So at some point, a trader investor is going to have to make the decision using technical analysis and the fundamentals of how low is low, and is it cheap enough for me to buy in? If you like this coin, you like the fundamentals, you like the project, you like the people, the staff, right? Educational wise, education idea is that can it crash? Can DOT crash all the way back down to $2? Yes, it's possible because that's the extended downside target of the ICO. It could crash down to 425 as well. So we're gonna have to closely watch Bitcoin, Ethereum, see if they get a reversal and start going up to the upside, and then you'll probably see a bunch of these altcoins follow. It's a reason why I don't have to look at hundreds of altcoins on stream. Is it just really follows Bitcoin unless there's specific news like Pepe Coin or Lucky's or something like that. One of those is different. Those are coins where a lot of people come in. There's a lot of trading volume. If you're a day trader, you try to day trade and scalp that, swing trade it for like 1, 2, 3 days, and you're out because Pepe Coin crashed a lot last week. Okay. If anybody has one last crypto request, just let me know. The last thing I'm going to do is just flip through the crypto list, and we're going to go back to stock requests because those got delayed. Let's take a quick visual. I like to do this. Just kind of go down and just look. Everything's making some kind of resistance, right? Solana, same thing, resistance. Cardano trying to make a higher low on the price. XRP trying to make a higher low. AVAX starting to flag up a little bit to the right. DOT similar to AVAX. Doge hitting its higher low support level. We need to hold all of these levels, right? We need to hold all these levels. Because if the price keeps dropping, then you're going to start to see real panic and real capitulation selling, and the shorts are going to aggressively short that. But that might be perpetuated and started by some kind of governmental news like debt ceiling, or if something gets banned in crypto in America, there's another hack. If another exchange goes bankrupt, I mean, those are all bad catalysts, negative catalysts. Shiba Inu hitting this support level. So it's at a relative support right now. That's maybe the positive thing I could tell people is oversold at a relative support level. Interesting area of zone to maybe start to possibly build another position if it starts to rebound on the shorter term time frames. If it keeps crashing back down to about like a 600 or 614, you could kind of see it in this area where there might be extra level of support level. Matic, somebody asked me about Matic, but like I said, watch out for these coins where it's already going up in the higher low rising wedge. And I drew the arrow literally saying, watch out for this coin when it starts to break down out of the support level, and voila, 2 weeks later, it's crashed down. Negative how much? Negative 20%. That was totally forecastable for about a month. So anybody who wants to short Matic, that setup was there for a long time. The only thing is you have to wait. Some big money, they're going to see that and say, all right, here's the weakness, right? There's the support level. If we don't get a bounce, it's hesitating. It's symmetrical triangle. And then the big short comes and goes, boom, short it down. And then the whole market crashes. I mean, the whole Matic crypto crashes, right? So now we're looking for oversold plays because the RSI is down here. The double momentum MACD histogram is down there. We do have the bounce on the H4. Still in the death cross here on the 4 hour. And I would wait for this because this thing could definitely go down to the 786 and get super oversold. And then we get a nice bounce somewhere in this blue circle. Sometimes patience is the key. I personally, as a long, I avoided Matic when it gets to these levels. From experience, I know when it's too high, I don't want to be the last trader in the trade on either side. Adam, they're right below support. We're kind of in yellow danger zone on some of these altcoins right now, near making a lower low. Litecoin hit this double top. That is not good. The double top, okay, this is kind of old news now, but 103, the double top, is not good. So we have that short-term resistance point about like 105. Now it's time to see, will the bulls defend right here? 77, 75, yes or no? Uni already had the breakdown. Watch out for these breakdown continuations to the downside. Link still channeling. Tron just edging up just slightly right here, but that's not, if this doesn't really rally up, I mean, there's a huge problem here. Tron could crash just like Matic. Right? Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash, yes, there is, and like I said, the dual psychology. There's bulls versus the bears. Somebody could say upside down head and shoulders. Somebody could also say it's turning into something else. Symmetrical triangle, double, triple, quadruple top in the most recent price action. So we had some good sentiment. That's 6 months ago. And now we have bad sentiment. So it literally flipped, went bull to bear. That's where we are in the market right now. And that it is what it is for now. Ethereum Classic with that little bit of double top. I drew that arrow to say, watch out for that. If this breaks down continually, then that is going to be a double top, and the downside target could be negative 20% to downside. Watch out for that. Algo already had its lower low. Only thing about Algo is it's kind of getting down to this area. Getting down to this area, right? Is there a big higher low? No, not yet. So we're still on this left side coming down price discovery. But if, again, this dual scenario, if things start to get improved this year, this is actually an interesting spot to possibly long. It's dangerous right now, though. Yellow light. If this looked different and looked like that, then I would say long, 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 right? But it's not. It's in the middle of making whatever formation is trying to do right now. XLM higher low. VChain lower low. Mana trying to hold above the support line right here, but you can see low, high, low. If this is a lower high, it's starting to make lower lows. So watch out for this 42 cents right here on Mana. If you lose that, it's big trouble. H bar trying to hit this higher low. Waves right at the higher low. So everything's at higher low support level. Make a break time for crypto on these altcoins. These are all very similar charts. I don't think we have to go through all of them. So hopefully you get the idea, the two scenarios that we're looking at going into the next 2 weeks, going into that debt ceiling. All right. I have a couple minutes here. Yes, this is live. Hello. Thank you for the chat. Let's go. I'm about to end about 5-10 minutes. We have to do these stock requests. I see multiple, so I'll just do the first two I see here. I'll do CPR2 and I'll do the Nifty 50. So we're going back to stocks. Go back to stocks. Okay, Copart. Now I do want to point out, just like Jim Cramer says on his show, if you ever watch his show, there's always a bull market somewhere. Yes, there's always a bull stock, there's always a bull crypto, and it's also inverse true. There's always a bear stock and bear crypto going down. So, if you find one of these and it's playing a higher low uptrend, then we just long the dips. Okay. What I do want to caution though is it's breakout to all-time highs. So that's could be good, could be bad, right into earnings, right? So this is very earnings dependent. Wednesday, May 24th, that's 11 days from now, right? So that earnings can make or break this rally. I would caution against that. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So you want to watch out for that. Now, NASDAQ, what does NASDAQ tell me? It's very similar, but it could be a little bit of momentum loss on the short-term timeframes once it gets to a resistance level. The only thing about the day on QQQ is we do have this upside down head and shoulders double MACD continuation. So NASDAQ really wants to keep going up. That's what the chart is telling me, that it really wants to keep going up. So how high is going to be high? We're about to find out on this. Okay. So we just hit a H4. We just hit a H1 pullback. Still higher low, right? So we go back to CPRT just to get some clues from QQQ. On the daily, we're up crossed here, but it is in the overbought range. Could it go higher? Most definitely yes. But it is in a yellow light zone. I'm going to call it yellow light zone. Okay, yellow light zone. Okay, we did have this breakout. Let's see what the measure move is supposed to be. 20% from the breakout. 20%. So if there's a bullish target to be had, it's about here, 88. Now let's get to your request here. You're trying to daily chart long intra 82. So that's above. You're trying to play a breakout. Stop loss 77.21. Profit target 91 with 2-to-1. Okay, so you're trying to play the breakout here. Somebody's trying to play the breakout long. That's probably the target is probably okay. Let's bring up a Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band BB. It's writing that it actually broke out of that. So I'm gonna caution is watch out for the day traders, the morning day traders who will probably try to short the pullbacks. But if you're right, like on a 5-minute, it's already in this overbought range. So it could have like one or two more pops to the upside before it gets really overextended. Because whenever it gets to up here, it can ride up for how much percent, like the last time this happened, 3%, 3%. And then you start to see a fade down on the RSI. That formation hasn't happened yet. We're like right at the beginning of it. Okay, so you might be able to eke out some gains here. Might have to hold it for a while though. Okay. So this is just educational, but I do like that the stop loss is where this breakout range is, and depending on earnings. So hopefully that trade works out for you. But just a side note is do not be surprised if the stock market starts to crash a little bit and pull back because of debt default, and then we start rounding top on this one as well. This seems very correlated. Just want to put that out there. Okay. This is probably the last request we're going to do right now. We're going to do Nifty 50. Nifty 50 here. All right, so this is the India Stock Exchange, basically, chart. The top 50 stocks in the Indian Stock Exchange. Now, Nifty 50 has been a different chart for some time now. It hasn't really pulled back down or crashed as hard as, let's say, America, just for example. Nifty 50, and then we go to SPY. Okay, SPY, we had huge crash in the middle of 2022. Flip back to Nifty as well, but nice rally. Okay, what I do want to point out is you can see the resistance level. Resistance right here. It almost feels like the Apple chart, to be honest. There's a big support down here, intermediate level of support right about 16,886. So this level is about 19,000, 16K, 15K. Now, in the very short term, there was this upside down head and shoulders bullish pattern where we just broke out above that 5% to the upside. So the target, it should try to extend up to 18,775, this blue up here. But please keep in mind, that is the resistance all-time high of the Nifty 50 index, okay? So it literally seems very similar to an Apple Tech stock chart. It is trying to maybe long-term ascending triangle here. So in terms of when are we going to get this breakout, it has to break and hold above 19,000. 19,000 has to break and hold above that and keep going up for 6 months to 1 year. It could. Now, how do we know we're going to come down? You want to see the mountain form and then reverse back down. So you could get these V-shaped recoveries, which is why I'm saying, like on QQQ, we might be seeing, if you see a shooting star on a weekly or a bearish engulfing candle or bearish piercing candle on some of these indexes, then there's something wrong. Right now, as of last week, there is no red huge candle. So nothing's wrong as of last week. But we can see some continuation. And we do have that golden upcross. So India obviously is different. What's going on over there? From what I know, is their economy and sales and marketing is really trying to increase over there right now, and we're starting to see that on the charts. So I just want to caution again, because of what's happening with all these recession risk, that a little bit that's happening in America at least. Hopefully that doesn't spill out to the rest of the world in terms of super bearish. But where this formation looks similar to me is about August 2022. You can see this circle is kind of similar to this circle where we had the golden cross to the upside. That's good. It's good that we're having that. It is kind of overbought range. We are losing a little bit of momentum. Is it super overbought? Not yet. So it's really like July 2022. It's almost a clone of that on the chart. Obviously, it's a different time in the world right now compared to 10 months ago, what's happening right now. But, we're probably going to see, you might see something like this, some pullback and one last time to bounce up and then maybe a big pullback down. Or you could just keep going higher, okay? So I do want to give people some kind of hope that we did see this type of mentality back in the pandemic as well. Again, Nifty 50 kind of looks like Bitcoin, kind of looks like everything else. Is after a crash in the pandemic, we had this rally. All throughout this period, we had some sort of good news about reopening and vaccines. And then we finally had that golden cross, and then it kept breaking to new highs. Okay? That's how we know on Nifty 50 if we're going to keep going up or not. With the breakout to new highs, it's going to be the highest level of all time. And if it doesn't come down, then this golden cross is real and we should uptrend on the chart price for the chart. However, if we rally up, this applies to everything else, almost everything else I'm talking about today. We rally up, we hit that resistance, and we pull back down, and it doesn't go back up, then there's huge pullback that could happen anywhere between -4 and -8% on this index. Okay, I want to explain that very, very clearly because it could go either way at this point. It's all about the data. I want to end here for like 2 minutes. It's all about the data. The price chart is just the price chart. It's just the index or the Bitcoin price. The global news, what the government is going to do tomorrow, what corporations are going to do next quarter, it's not yet printed on this chart. Okay, let me go back to SPY. Just want to keep that clear. That's why I always start off with a little bit of news, so we kind of know what's going on. And then we price that into the chart. Sometimes the news happens first and then the price reacts, like 2022. Sometimes you get so low that the price kind of reacts first and then the news reacts, like 2023 this year. Okay, so let's keep it. I'm taking it day by day, week by week, month by month. in the stock market and crypto market. So it could sound like, you know, you're not getting a clear message from this live stream, but that's because that is what the market is reflecting back to me right now. So until the market gives me clear signs that we are going up on everything, I'm probably not going to say it yet. Okay, I'm going to remain cautious until we have more evidence on the chart. All right, so hopefully you learned something. If you like this stream, thank you so much for watching and following. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. Also, the Twitter group is open if you just want to follow that public Twitter group. The Discord will be closing in 2 weeks. So the Discord will be closing, and we're moving the Discord to Twitter. Everything I do in Discord, I'm moving to Twitter. Just want to let people and remind people of that. So thanks so much. I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. When am I going to see you next week? Most likely either Saturday the 20th or the 21st. One of those 2 days. Next Saturday or Sunday, probably evening time USA. All right, everybody. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching and following, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.